Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be starting up the 9th chapter, talks about the Garden of Eden. Let us begin. Before the Garden of Eden was made, the Nephilim who existed on earth only lived in a cultural or civilizational life, and spiritual life began when Adam became a living soul by a God-given spirit. It was in the Garden of Eden that God gave this commandment that became the beginning of humanity's spiritual life. That is, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not eat from it, because in the day you eat of it, you will surely die. From that time on, humanity became an existence that did not live by the body alone, but also had to maintain the life of the spirit. Let us read about this in John chapter 6, verse 63. Let us begin. The Spirit gives life, the flesh counts for nothing. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. From this verse, we understand that humans will die if their spirits leave their bodies. As long as God allows their spirits to remain in the body, they can still live. And therefore, we realize that humans cannot do whatever they want without God's permission. As the Apostle Paul said, I planted the seed in your hearts, and Apollos watered it, but it was God who made it grow. In the Garden of Eden, humans who became living spirits and souls lived a spiritual life besides their physical life. The purpose of a spiritual life is intended by God to give blessings to humans, which is the blessing of eternal life. For this purpose, God created the Garden of Eden, which was equipped with all kinds of resources as well as regulations. If we read in Genesis chapter 2, verse 10 to 14, we will know that God's blessing was shown through the river that flowed from Eden, which watered the entire garden. The river is separated into 4 headwaters. Let us study the meaning of the 4 rivers. The first river is named pt.1, which means wealth. In spiritual life, blessings are available to abundance, and there is wealth in the lives of believers. As it says in 3 John chapter 1, verse 2, My beloved, I pray, I hope you are well and healthy in everything, just like your soul is fine. The world's people think that they can live well without God because God has given culture and that humans master that culture, where they can work and physically live well. But a life that ignores God will end in judgment. Those who live a spiritual life know clearly that God is the owner of their life. Therefore, they rely completely on God. For example, in Genesis chapter 32, which was about Jacob who is on his way back to his hometown, after years of hard work at his uncle's house, he brought home many pets and livestock, because God has blessed him. But on the way, he realized that the wealth he had earned was not actually his, and therefore he prayed earnestly on the bank of the Jabbok River after he had delivered all the livestock and his wealth. Jacob prayed so earnestly that the socket of his hip was out of joint, because he really realized that he did not have the right to own all the treasures that he had accumulated during those 20 years. Esau could have taken it from him by force, so Jacob prayed, Oh God, bless me, give me the right to own this wealth. And in the end, when God's blessing came to Jacob, he became the owner of said wealth. All our lives, we must admit that only if God allows us to have something, then we become the owner of that something. Likewise, after God said to Joshua that the city of Jericho would be handed over to him, Only then could the Israelites occupy the city. Spiritual life that is accompanied by abundance because we receive the right to have it from God. Therefore, we refer to God as Lord. He becomes our master, where we are given the right to own and also the right to use something with God's permission. But the one who rules and uses us is God, and that He is the only one who bestows this spiritual wealth. That seems to be all I have to bring up for today, and I will see you all in the next part. Goodbye.